Oblivion Remastered modding is getting pretty insane. These are some of the best mods that'll make your game better. Better Dialogue adds back the dialogue system from Skyrim, where the world continues moving even when you're talking to NPCs. It also removes the fake light sources and works great when playing in VR for added immersion. Dynamic AI behavior adds realistic animal behavior. Rats will not try to run after being attacked, animals will hunt each other, and it makes the world feel more alive. Auto Local Map opens up the local map automatically when in interiors instead of having to continually zoom in. I have no idea why this wasn't a feature at launch, but this mod fixes it. Shadows Reworked redoes the shadows and fog in the game to make them darker and more dramatic. It also increases your FPS, so there's no reason not to use this. Shield on back does exactly what it says, and it puts the shield on the back of your character when not in combat. It looks way better than having it on the side. Timed Block adds a slowdown mechanic for a few seconds when blocking at the exact moment someone attacks. It makes combat a lot more fun and dynamic. Colovian Cuts adds real physics to hair in Oblivion, so instead of the static haircuts, you can now see your hair blowing in the wind and moving depending on the direction. Right now, this just replaces one hairstyle, but I believe the mod author has plans to extend this to a bunch of different haircuts. A more complete world map adds a high-quality 4K colored map to replace the vanilla one. It makes the map a lot easier to read and just looks really cool. Legends Classic Loading Screens adds back the classic loading screens from OG Oblivion, so instead of the same loading screen every single time, you can now get a fun picture to look at. HideUI does exactly that, and it lets you hide your UI with a button press. This is pretty essential when playing in VR because otherwise there's a giant UI interface. Racial Body Morphs changes the NPC and player height to match the concept art for Elder Scrolls. So instead of everyone being the same height, orcs, high elves, and Nords will now be taller than the other races. This does a ton to make the world feel more immersive. Ghosts of Tamriel makes Oblivion Remastered into an asynchronous multiplayer game by adding the messaging system from Dark Souls. You can leave messages around Cyrodiil for other players to find. It makes the game so much more fun and interesting. A lot of players are writing short stories, tips on how to play, or just straight up hilarious notes. You can also see where and how players died because of a gravestone that will stay up for 24 hours. I highly recommend this mod if you're feeling a bit lonely and want something to spice up the game.